everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on Spider-Man 2099. Now, as you know, like most comics, would take place more in a futurific future, with flying cars, McDonald's with robotic servants, and so on. So, pretty much like how with Spider-Man, there was also X-Men 2099, Punisher, and Doctor Doom. One here we've got is Spider-Man, who is running from cops. So let's get on the story. It starts off having them saying, "We're gonna get caught. We're gonna get caught. I'm telling you, the Flyboys never come up this high. They don't like the crosswinds, just a bunch of strongness. Hey, what the shark is that?" So yeah, much like how Batman Beyond had its own phrases, the year 2099 had its same one with shock. So depending on if there was a 2099 shocker, people will be saying, "Do you kiss your mother with that mouth?" So he ends up, we see Spider-Man leaping, and the police trying to run him down, and they're like, we're here to arrest him, not admire him. He went between those buildings. Milk, you with me. The rest of you, cut him off from the other side." So they start to look around the area, and suddenly Spider-Man runs so quick, it's almost like Goku from Dragon Ball. And he's like, "Swing around, Milk, bring it around." What's he doing? He's in free fall. He's gonna kill himself. So he ends up running down, knocks him down, and actually scratches him in the face. And he says, "Everyone, out of the way! My face! I'm bleeding to death! You cut my face! You tried to kill me, you!" You know, when you think about it, this was obviously an accident, because one, you were firing and shooting. And so he's like, "Just shut up, would you please?" And so he flees off quickly, and the two officers go around to find him, but find out they're in a shopping mall, like, "Anywhere?" Oh, shock. So pretty much, Spider-Man goes into his apartment, and where he gets voicemail from friends and family. The first one being his boss, Aaron, and terminates the next call and finds out it's his brother, saying, "Miguel, it's Cabe. I know it's you, Cabe. Hello, remember? Look, avoiding me isn't going to make things better. I stand by what I said before. The whole company radar program is a nasty price of work. And you're a nasty part of it. But I still love you, man. And so we have the next one with his girlfriend, who tries to, ask, come back, and all that stuff. But afterwards, we're introduced to a flashback years later, where we see Miguel working with his co-workers, and it's clear that this guy hates him, that he's just being arrogant and all that. And the plan is to build their own little corporate raiders, known as a project on Spider-Man. And it says, his name was Spider-Man, one of the premier boys from the old hollow heroic ages, around the turn of the century. What do you mean? And so he points out that this could be their big break, and so Aaron puts a lot of hope on him, even having the test subject Mr. Sims. So they end up, putting him in this special chamber, and he points out that he borrowed the premise from the film Fly, the one with Jeff Goldblum, obviously. Now, if you've watched the film, you know that he should probably have taken more precautions, and as soon as he opens it, he says, "Mr. Sims, still with us? Now, you probably feel a very sharp tingling that could pass in a couple of..." So he ends up becoming this spider-like monster. It's like, "Get him off me! Mr. Sims, I'm sorry, I tried. With someone from shocking, shoot him." And so he ends up dying, and his boss is like, dead. He still broke his restraints. And so he tries to quit his job, and his boss, Aaron, offers him a drink, which turns out is laced with drugs, and that the only way to fight it off is by getting the stuff from Alchemax. But since it's the only shareholder that has it, he's been forced to work there now. So you see his girlfriend doing gym aerobics, and you see her going, "Miguel, what's wrong, lover? You're home early. Are you sick? Should I... Get away from me!" And so she ends up striking her, and you can tell that he realizes to his shock about what he did, and has a black eye. But he points out that Alchemax had drugged him because he didn't want to leave, because he wanted to leave the company. He points out saying, "Listen, I have friends. Even if you quit Alchemax, I can probably get Rapture through the black market. You want me to be a lousy drug addict all my life? I want you to not to hurt. That's all." And yeah, this is kind of the thing that Miguel O'Hara has to try and do. So he ends up doing a file on himself and decides to try and fix the problem himself. Turns out one of his co-workers says, "Oh, Miguel O'Hara working overtime? A pity if something went wrong, like, say, pumping up the level every blasted piece of equipment in the sequence." So he ends up overriding the program, causing an explosion, showing no concern or care to what happens to him. So he goes in and says, "Late night, mad scientist. You've just blown up. It's big time. When I tell Mr. Stone you wrecked the equipment in some temperamental tantrum, that's going to finish you." So he asks him to, look while he's talking, but realizes that Miguel has been mutated. So yeah, this is the story. Despite the kind of 90s cliche gimmick where there's going to be like a futurific setting, much like Judge Dredd, also The Sixth Day and everything, it's actually not a bad issue. It's interesting to see a kind of futurific tech, and I give it a thumbs up. Still good and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.